Okay, the lighting's gone weird now. So this is part. I'm hoping everybody can hear me and I don't sound tinny or sound like an alien. That's what I don't want. I don't want to sound like an alien. So hopefully people can get back in here. And I don't break up and there's no glitches. So welcome back. I can hear you and you sound normal. Good. Okay, thanks, Lexi. All right. Okay. Whew. Well, I gotta say the reasons I wanted to, am I cutting in and out now? Okay. Let me know if I'm cutting in and out now or not. If it's okay. Because on my side, I look good, sort of. The lighting's bad. Yes. I what the hell? Let's see. Studio. This. Continue. Allow. Allow. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to go off of this one and hopefully. Now I'm going to go off of this one and hopefully everything's okay. That one should freeze. And okay, so hopefully now everybody can hear me. And yeah, you sound great. Thank you. Okay, I had to go into my iPhone, everybody, and look great. Thank you, everyone. There is, so many people I know are having really crazy computer glitches and stuff like that. I know, even though Mercury is direct, Mercury, it can be direct all at once, but it's in a quincunx, which is very hard. Quincunx are very difficult stress points. And, you know, Mars is wanting to go forward, and it's not really getting the full steam ahead. And I think this is where a lot of issues are coming in, where people are wanting to get ahead. They're wanting to do things, but you can't get your full steam ahead. You're feeling very, it's just very overwhelming. And the moon has just entered Capricorn, and in entering Capricorn, it's got to go over Pluto and Mercury, and it's going to be in a quincunx coming up to Mars to meet the sun, and going as the sun will be going into Aquarius on Saturday for that new moon. There's this energy that, yeah, you want to go forward, but there's a lot of explosiveness that is happening, and you're probably really feeling it, and even witnessing a lot of it that's happening at this time. And we have Saturn and Venus. I mean, Venus coming together, because Venus is in Aquarius, Saturn's in Aquarius, and that's actually will take you. I mean, with Venus being there, that's actually going to take you anywhere you want to go. I mean, there's that energy, because Venus and Saturn get along very well, because she loves the structure, she loves to have that kind of thing. And the it's that actual kind of feeling that I really want to do something, and we really got to focus on those things that we need to be doing within our own lives, and not getting caught up in the world, and other things that are trying to pull us in different directions. There is so much that's coming up that, again, is causing a shattered reality. And this is really going to be so helpful in the coming months, because if we can learn how to sort of stay focused, how continue our breathing exercises, our meditations, our prayers, it's going to excuse me, I still got a little bit of a cough. It's really going to take us to a better place, and it's going to allow us to create what we need to create. Now, in saying that, this is also the time to gather. What do I need to do to create what I want to create? Am I stepping in the direction I need to step into to create the goodness that I want to create in my life? Even with everything going seeming to go very crazy, this is looking at the positive, and I've got to stress, you got to look at what the positives are in your life, because there's a lot that's coming out that is going to show you what isn't positive in your life. And that's the key point, is that you got to focus on a lot of the positive that's happening in your life. And because it's that part that wants to, their mission is to control, to keep you in fear, to keep you in a place where you feel like you have no control, or you have no um place. But this is looking at your goals, your destiny, and your long-term goals. This is looking at your long term, and saying, where do I want to see myself, where do I want to go, and planning that is going to be the key. How do you plan for your next 2 years, 3 years? And this is so important. Now we're going to go down to Uranus in Taurus, and with the North Node, and the North Node wants you to, Uranus can get you into craziness and chaotic, and really feel like you're spinning your wheels and going nowhere. And when we're heading into a dark moon, and we're going into the dark moon, this is a time of caution. The ancients always said, when the moon is dark, that is caution, that's the devil's hour. That's when evil can grow, and we don't want to step into the darkness. We don't want to go down those roads, and we want to stay where we are able to focus on those things, focus on it. And this is like looking at your vision, and coming into what is your truth. And this is really, this astrology that's coming in is very deep. There's a lot of layers that are unfolding before us. And I mean, I watch a lot of different news, and I watch a lot of alternative news, and listening to much that is unfolding in the world around us, it can get scary. And it's the thing is that it's not To fear, don't get into the fear, but it's to be aware. It's to be aware of what's going on and not getting caught off guard. For instance, it's very important for your aware to be aware. What are the banks doing? Be aware of that. Have an understanding of what's going on with the banks. Have an understanding what a bail-in is. How does would the bail-in affect me or will it not affect me? Right? This is very important. This is important for you, as I say, to have cash on hand. What is it that I need? That's part of the preparedness. That is part of looking at the positiveness in your life, because then you feel, I got it. I'm getting it. Things are coming together. Now, this energy is very crazy and unstable at times. And it could throw you into craziness and unstableness because Mars wants to get going. Mars wants to move ahead. And as soon as, for inner planets to be in a quincunx for such a long time, like 2 days, 3 days, that's a lot. That's our inner selves. Anything that is, from Saturn to the sun, that's our inner personal energies, right? Anything on the other realm, that's part of the God realm. That's our psychological subconscious energy. So think places like Neptune and Uranus and Pluto are our subconscious. They are our psychological energies. That's where they lie. Our inner parts are, our how do we want to put things into order? What are our values? How do we want to define our own self? Who do we want? Aquarius. Aquarius is very particular on who they have around them. Now, if you're getting caught up that you want to be in this group or that group because you want to be seen like this and that and the other thing, that can throw you off. That can throw you into a crazy, um, delusional nuttiness because all you want to do is, be like the Joneses or live beyond your means. This is a time not to live beyond your means. This is a time to really watch. If I want to get ahead, what do I need to cut back on? What do I need to release within my own self and within around me that isn't of service to me? And we will see. I mean, when I say things that, when you focus on the positive, this is where, okay, unexpected bills could be coming in, but if we are looking at having that excess money around, then we'll be able to pay for those crazy bills that are going to be coming up. We're going to be able, it's really, really, really important in the next coming months and in the next coming year that we are going to learn how to be frugal. But the thing is, to be frugal doesn't mean that you are going to live without. Now, that's the whole thing. As soon as you say that, a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't live without this. I can't live without that. This is to take a really good, realistic look at your life and look at what is truly important, what truly makes you happy, and how can I step into that energy. Okay, that's where we're heading into, and that's what it is. This is about adulting, being the adulting week, of what does it mean for me to be an adult? What does it mean for me to step into my power? And that means that, okay, I may not need to have so many subscriptions. Look at how many subscriptions you have. Do you need them? Do you use them? How often do you use them? Right? Those things are going to be important because that $10, $15 that you're spending each month, look at what's $10 times 10. Okay? That extra $100 could do something else for you. These are the things that the energies are trying to come in and get you to look at. And many of you, like for instance, I used to go to Starbucks every day. Well, I work at Starbucks now, but but I still, when I used to go to Starbucks every day, that was a lot of money I spent. Before I started working at Starbucks, like last year with everything that happened with Steve and stuff, really made me look at what was important and really take a step back and not spend that money over there. And this is where and I know that you know, that I know that but it's putting it into action. Okay, if I said that right. I know that but it's putting it into action. And this is where that you have to really look at the importance in the world around you. Now, many of you listened to my 5 year prediction, and it's still available if you want to get my 5 year prediction. And in my 5 year prediction, I talked about keeping your energies high, making sure that you are focusing on the things that are in when everything is coming to a craziness. The reason I called it, the year of the underdog, or coming into the underdog, because sometimes you underestimate the underdog. You don't want to be the person that underestimates what it is that you can do. And many times you underestimate what you can do in 3 years and you overestimate what you can do in 1. And so this is really a time of putting into motion what needs to be put into motion. The energies that are coming in it, especially after this new moon, are going to really help to keep you focused in the direction that you need to go into without losing your head. Because this right now, you're going to see a lot of people starting to freak out. You're going to see a lot of people starting to, oh my God, look at this, look at that, or they find out more information on the elixir, or they're really reading into what the WEF is saying. And the thing is that those are bloody vampires, and they don't have. You're beginning to see more and more people not give their energy to them. And the thing is that's the key. If you really start giving your energy to them, that gives them the power. But when you start taking your energy back and say, what you say has nothing to do with how I'm going to live my life. I am not going to live my life that way. This is the way I'm going to live my life. We're seeing people within the world in around stand up. They're speaking up. I mean, we had the Prime Minister of New Zealand step down. And I was told, yeah, I think Taiwan and Vietnam. What was happening within those countries in the last 3 years? I know Vietnam was pretty free, but it's a communist country, right? So there could be something else going on in there. The Prime Minister of New Zealand, I mean, she's in the back pocket of the WEF, but her plan, everything that she was trying to implement, is falling apart before her very eyes. So she needs to get the fuck out because everything's falling apart. That's when you see things like that happening, the light's coming in. That the light is coming in. And more of that's going to happen. And that's how you see governments topple or things don't work out for them, right? Um, I know that it might be a lot. I might get, this where it's like, it might be also within my own life. I might be just getting a little bit back, but that little bit back of whatever I'm putting forward, whatever I'm stepping towards, when you add that up over 3 years, that's a quantum leap. That's a quantum leap. So this is where we're at. We're at an energy that says we want to teach you how to keep grounded, to keep focused, to focus on your light, to focus on the good things in your life, and continue doing that as everything is starting to go crazy, 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 crazy. And we're heading into astrologically new year with the Chinese New Year, and it's a year of the rabbit, and it's a water rabbit. It's my rabbit, it's my bunny. And the water rabbit is yin. And you have to look at, how does a rabbit, like, a rabbit just doesn't hop around. Like hopping, everybody thinks, oh, they just hop. If you watch rabbits, they sit and they nibble and they watch and they look around, and they're aware of their surroundings. They're very keen on, oh, what was that noise? What was happening? Do I have to move? That's going to be very much how we are going to have to react as we're heading into this year. How are you going to react? How are you going to move forward? Are you paying attention to things happening in and around? If you're going around and being a spiritual bypasser and saying, oh, God will handle it and Goddess will handle it and all will be fine, and, no, you're going to find that you're going to get really kicked in the ass. This is taking responsibility for the things that you need to take responsibility for and stepping into that greater light that is yours. And this new moon is an activation of that energy, and it's at 0 degrees, 0 degrees Aquarius. And that's the same point where Jupiter and Saturn met. And they meet every 20 years. It's bang on. They meet. But this is the first time that they actually met in over 200 years in an air sign. They've been meeting in an earth sign. So everything to do with the mundane world, how to make money, how to do this, work hard, persevere. Now we're in air. It's intellectual, it's energy, it's movements, it's current. This is where you're going to be starting to see huge changes. And we have a new moon that's sitting there, and it's going to reactivate that point. And reactivating that point is going to let you see more of what it is that you need to be looking at, visualizing. Because the one thing about Aquarius is, and I have all of my children have Aquarius in them, and somewhere in their chart, or have something major in their chart. My Saturn is in Aquarius. So I just had my Saturn return last year. God help me. And this is where when you look at Aquariuses are very particular of who they have around them. They have an inner circle, like they're like they're like a bullseye. You have their inner circle, then they have maybe another group of friends, and then they have another group of friends, and then they have a wide range of friends, but you don't see too often that any of their groups mix too much. And this is where you'll have to be diverse, where you are you are in different groups, you are working with different people, and that just helps you to keep more aware of what is happening in the world around you. And it's very important to be keen on the shit that is unfolding, so that and it's not going to hit you sideways. It's important for you to understand what's going on in your banks. Here's something that I learned today. Maybe you guys already knew it, but it clicked in my little brain today. And we all understand that there's insurance, right? Insurance, we'll put it in quotation, when you do a deposit. Now let's say and it's insured up to, I think, $250,000. I think it is. I'm not too sure, but it's insured up to a certain amount. Now, if you have multiple accounts and they all have that amount in the account, only one is going to be insured. And with that, even though it might be insured, that doesn't mean that you're going to get your money for it. This is where the bail-ins come in. This is what they did during the Depression. And what they do is say, okay, I'm going to give you stocks, and maybe they're going to be worth something, maybe they're not. I'm not too sure. And every bank is doing this. Every bank has instituted this. And that's why it's so important to be aware. And also know that if the government can close down accounts at any time, is your money actually that safe? Are your investments that safe? So it's also to know, understand, where are my investments? What have I invested in? Am I buying gold and silver and things like that? Looking at gold coins and silver coins, because that's something that you can, I mean, later on, you can, if you need something extra, you can sell them, or you can trade them, or whatever, comes forward. So this energy is actually getting us to look at practicality. It's getting us to look at outside our boxes and begin to start putting that together. And the more that we start doing that, as it gets more chaotic for the rest of this year, um, we're going to be prepared. We're not going to be thrown off the bike. We're going to be able to continue on the bike and continue going. They just gave me a bike, so we're on a bike now. So we have to really important for us to stay in that, light, and just fucking go. And it's where we have to look at, there's going to be people around that are going to be hurt, because people are going to, their feelings are going to get hurt. People are not going to like what's going on. They're not going to like maybe your decisions on what's happening. you know um the errors are, with Mercury retrograde. But this is where you will see that staying in your light is going to allow for you to stay in your power. And you're going to hear me say that a lot. And when I get a message and I really have to implement it to you guys, and the divine keeps repeating it in my head, I have to keep on repeating it to you, because some people still aren't getting it. There is you know it's just one of those things. Um and with this energy that's coming in with the quincunx with Mars and Gemini, and this Mercury in Capricorn, and there's a dark moon here, and the sun's at the last degrees. It's and it's going to be conjunct with Pluto. So there's been these deeper realms that we're going to have to go through, that we're going to have to um, be responsible for, and how we react to the intense situation and things, and the feelings that we have, and the big blocks, that come forward. This is where we're going to have to really use our discernment with this, and look at how, maybe even discuss it, maybe even having to book in an appointment and get an appointment with me. I've had quite a few people reach out for emergency readings lately. And as I said, I wasn't going to do readings till March, but people are calling like, I really need this, I need this now, there's chaos happening. And just having to sit down and discuss things, look at things that are going on in their chart, because it's like, do you know what house your Capricorn is? Do you know what house your Aquarius is? That has effect on how what's going on in your life. It might rule the 11th house, but it might be in your 4th house, it might be in your 10th house. you know this is where, when we come um into our lives, it's like these challenges are going to come in for you, and to better you and to help you to form a better perspective of the things that that are going on. And I gotta get a cough drop now. Hang on. Cough drop and my drink. So here, we're going for a walk, guys. Should have had my drink by me. I'm drinking Energy C. Oh. So when these responsibilities come along, we're able to take those responsibilities, as my candy went somewhere else. So this is, your approach to them, and how you are going to approach these different realms and these different levels that are going to be coming up around you, situations. Sorry about the candy. And I guarantee you, it's the smaller hurdle than the big wave. It's those small hurdles that can really stop you from going anywhere, or stop you from doing anything, or freak you out and say, "Oh, I can't do it." And it's, with the big hurdles, the big waves, you think you are thinking it's, you know, definitely, "Oh, I can do," you might overthink it all. So this is to be open to the uniqueness and also the oddness of the challenges, and it approaches them from a way of figuring them out and not running away from them, and approaching them like an adult, approaching them with what God's sowing for you. And this is going to make it better. And God's with us, the goddess is with us, and through all these things, to make it better. And this has to look at, the people, the friends and associations, and all those entities of people that you have around you, which is going to be so important. And that support that you have around. And I don't need the comfort that I normally need. I'm more comfortable growing, coming into that idea. Yes, I need to grow, I need to go, and I'm more comfortable in doing that, and knowing that I have these people that have my back. And even though I might be crawling into my own emotional dark space and not facing it, a bad place to go right now, and that's not where we want people to go, because that can really catch you off guard, is to catch yourself and say, "I am going to step forward into this. Why is this universe bringing me into the challenges? Okay, this is what I need to face. This is what I need to do." Instead of judging yourself and judging those situations that are happening. And the Capricorn stuff, it's like, yeah, it's about responsibility. It's about growing. It's about looking at those layers and meeting them. And this is also knowing that, not backing away from getting it, and not going into those fucked up places, with alcohol and drugs. And with Jupiter out there, this is where this is an expansion, and he is heading towards, Chiron. So these are places that, you could easily slip up and get lost in it. But really, this is going to really slam people in the face. You're going to see a lot of people trying to escape. You're going to see a lot of people that are going to try and say, "I can't deal with this, I can't do this." And this is where they fall into the craziness, and they fall into the fear. And because it is a dark moon, this is the energy that can get you into the darkness. We can't just shove it under the rug. We got to face a lot of shit that's coming up for us, and not back down. That's why it's so important to make sure that you get used to feeling uncomfortable, and knowing that in feeling that uncomfortableness, it's going to get you towards a better place. It's going to allow for your light to shine even more. And with Jupiter in Aries, this is going to bring in a lot of power. And this is going to square the dark moon as well, and the sun's already starting. Um, it's already starting to square it. There is this energy that's coming in that also is wanting us to align and bring us in. And I know there's a lot of heavy aspects with all of this, but there's a positive aspect, that's ahead of the challenges, that's bigger than what the challenges is. So whatever the challenge are today, or whatever the feelings and the misgivings of today that might feel off, but it's really, they're off, but it's because you're not approaching whatever you're making to feel a certain way that might feel. And this is where it's like you're not being honest with yourself. If you're feeling like shit, or you're feeling like things aren't going your way, you got to take a fucking step back and take a look and say, you know what, this isn't, there's something off here, and I really need to face this and not put my head in the sand because you think this is shitty. If you're not going to face it, if you're going to run away from it, it's going to be worse down the road. It's going to blow up. So this is adult facing. This is getting up, pulling up your big boy and big girl underwear, and this is allowing for you to face it. Because sooner or later, the problem just festers. And that's what the South Node Scorpio does. It loves when shit festers. It loves to get into the ooey gooey, yucky, deep down grossness of shit and see what it can do and see how much pus can come out. But this is where we got to strive for something better and go into your flame. And even though with this quincunx, with this, feeling these stressors that you want to go, I want to just fuck it. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to do it my way. I'm going to do it this way, instead of taking your time and looking at it and saying, okay, that's really not the way I need to go. I need to take my time. I need to allow myself to feel into this uncomfortableness and step forward into my power. That's where we have to go, because if you're not doing that now, you're going to find the rest of this year is going to be so bloody fucked up, and you're going to be wondering what just hit you on the side of the head, because it's going to just keep pushing you back. And the negative attitude that is not desired or wanted, and in your life, and how it affects others, and how your attitudes affect others, are the big things. And Venus and Saturn in Aquarius right now. So it is very important to remember that every step you're taking right now, you want to be advised that with the highest of character, and you want to approach this whole time and be prepared. This is so important to do this, and the approach. And I'm going to approach it with the abilities to build my character so that I am able to be that character, to be that person I want to be within the universe. And because I'm still an individual, we are going to all be growing into this. And so we are all in this collective and growing. So everybody else is growing. And this is not a good time to be a judge of others in Aquarius. Don't be a judge of others. That's for God. That's for the heavens to do. Let them judge. This is for us to stay in our higher frequency, allow ourselves to stand in our power, and look at the challenges that we have to face within our own lives, and we actually grow the best way. And as I've said before, when you start doing that, that's giving the other person who's watching you the power to do the same thing, because you don't own your story. You don't own your story. Your story is just an example you can use to help others to grow, to expand, so they can live in a power. And then you live in the power. This is growing into a community that allows for diversity. And these energies that teach us how to grow bigger. And it's the challenges which sometimes are not as big as a big a deal. It's actually the challenges that were more in our life of, the life, because of the fact that we actually, the things that really taught us on how to get over it and to step forward and to step into the things. This is cardinal energy. This is going forward, and this is allowing ourselves to go into the directions that we need to go into. And with Aquarius, allowing us to stepping into them and activating them and not backing away. This isn't the time to back away. When it comes to a challenge, it's also real, and it's realizing that before you can move on into the next big thing, you have to be doing these. So it's all these little steps that you're doing that is going to allow for you to create. And with this balsamic phase of the moon, and it's as it's merging, and it just, with all these planets that have come direct, like Mars and Mercury, and Uranus is coming direct next week. This is positive attitude, but it's a mature attitude. It's not, off the cuff, let's just fuck around kind of attitude. This is not to have little kids freakouts, or have little panic attacks. This is allowing for you to start to pop up, to do the things that you need to do, to allow for you to stand in that power that you have, and allow for you to look at the beauty that is happening in your life, and stay in that positive beauty, and know that yes, you can overcome any bullshit, any fucked up situation, because you've made it this far, and you've gotten through the last fucking 3 years, and you're still here, you're still standing, and you're still going forward. So this is what you have to look at, and look at the inner strength that you have devised over the last few years. And you're going to find that this is going to be very mature, and you're stepping into things and not afraid to face it, and know that you have the divine with you, and that the divine is working with you with every single step. And I'm seeing these pieces, I'm seeing this stuff coming together, and these energies of lines that are coming forward. And you do have that power of the divine goddess that is coming forth with you. This is a powerful feminine year. This is a yin year. This yin year is a year of allowing for you to really trust that intuition, and to trust that inner being. Because when you're doing that, you are not going into avoidance. You are taking the responsibility that you need to take within your life, and stand into that power. And that's what the divine wants you to do. And that's what it's teaching us right now. And there's multiple layers that are unfolding before us, and it can feel fucked up, and it can feel shitty, but that's okay. That's okay, because we can do this. We are powerful beings, and we're more powerful than what we give ourselves credit for. So stand in your power, stand in your light, because you guys are all fucking awesome. And you know you can get this, and you know you can do this. So take a deep breath. Call in your divine. Call in that of what, if your God, your goddess, and allow them to help and guide you through this, because that's what they're there for. But they're not going to help you until you ask. So you got to ask. And you might have to ask for every single thing that you need to do, from even putting on your fucking pants in the morning. Ask and say, give me the strength to get through this day. Give me the strength to do this one more day. And thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And embrace it. You all have a beautiful night. That they just came right through me to channel to you. And I knew I had to get on tonight. So spread the message of love and light, and spread the message of being powerful beings. Have a good one, everybody. And hopefully we'll talk to you on Sunday. The new moon readings will not be coming out till late on Sunday. Just an FYI. So have a blessed one. And if you want my 5-year prediction, it's $30. Get a hold of me, and I'll send it to you right away. God bless, and the goddess bless you. Bye-bye.